Hi, I'm Shamir of Shim So Creative, and welcome to part 2 of my Viki Sews pattern review series. Now this is Hazel. Hazel is a long maxi dress that has a nice big fold over collar detail, and she's actually suitable for beginners. So let's get into the pattern details. Okay, so let's get right into Hazel. She is a beginner-friendly dress. She only has about 2 dots for difficulty, and she goes up to a size 52. Hazel is a close-fitting off-the-shoulder dress with a wide fold-over collar. The dress is flared toward the bottom. The long raglan sleeves are close-fitted and flared. Hazel is ankle length. So those are the details that you get with your pattern. Suggested fabrics are knits, so stretchy to medium weight. Sweater knits are perfectly fine. It looks like you need about 2.5 to 3 yards of fabric, depending on your size here. And you do need some clear elastic and some matching thread, and an overlocker or zigzag option would be great to help with your finishings. But again, it's a knit. It's not 100% necessary, but I would recommend something. Now let's get into the design details and my personal fabric choices. So I chose a rib sweater knit. It's in this beautiful like red orange terracotta color. It has a nice like medium weight, so it's not a lightweight sweater knit. It has some heft to it. You definitely would want to wear this in the later fall or winter weather. It was really quick to put together. I think I spent maybe 3 hours working on this dress. Some notions that you do need like the bias tape elastic, and that's pretty much it. There's a front piece, a back piece, a sleeve piece, and then your collar piece, and so it's pretty easy to put together. And I personally really like terracotta. I think it's perfect for fall. I would also really love to make this as a top, so I think it's very hackable. In terms of the construction, like I said, it's very few pieces. It's pretty easy to put together. You do need a little of the stretchy bias tape elastic stuff to put around the neckline, so that when you're stretching the neck to get it over your shoulder, it will snap back. So that's a nice like detail that they did put in this garment to help hold shape and to keep it stable. Otherwise, you don't really need too many other notions to my knowledge. For this one, I only serge the ends and the bottom as my hem, but you could use a cover stitch, fold it and do the double stitch if you have it, or you could also use a twin needle on your sewing machine, or even just a zigzag stitch. You just want to keep it, you know, elastic so that you can get in and out of the garment pretty easy. But construction wise, very easy. I think I actually sewed it on a TikTok live, and it took maybe 2 or 3 hours to put the entire thing together. So very easy to construct, very easy to understand. It pretty much goes together like you would think this goes together. Alright, so I have the video up here of me wearing the garment. For me, this size fits really well. I did make adjustments, sorry. The only adjustments I did is I did lengthen it a bit. I do buy the longest size run in the Viki Sews patterns, but I typically have to add length to the maxi one. So I added about 5 inches to the length of this to get an actual maxi length on me. But if you're more of an average size woman, I'm 5'8¼ then you'll probably be just fine with choosing the height for the pattern. I've worn this dress twice. I wore it twice. I made this dress last year, and I wore it twice last year, and I found it very comfortable. This fabric was very comfortable to wear, very easy to get in and out of, very easy to layer with. In fact, the second time I wore it with a button-down shirt under it to give it just a little bit of a more edgier look, and I wore it with boots. And then the second time I wore it with heels and no top under it, just to give a more like sexy kind of look to it. So it's very versatile in that way. This would be really nice as a little black dress. You could also crop it, shorten it to about knee length or even to a mini length. That would be super cute. I just, like I said, I want to make this into a shirt. I just think this is like a really great pattern to kind of play around with, and that's what I look for when I'm looking for patterns. I'm looking for something that I can wear different avenues. Like, could I like pull this up and, you know, off of the shoulder, off onto the shoulders, and wear it more, you know, more like this, and now I can wear it to work because it's not hanging off the shoulders. Is it good for date night? Is it good for a girl's night out? Could I shorten it? Could I lengthen it? Could I add a split in the front? All those things are what kind of make a pattern really worth the money for me, and worth the construction. Because even though it's free for me to make this, oh, my boob pads are I messed up in there. Even though this is free for me to make, it does require time, it does require materials, right? So that's what I'm looking for, is something that can be versatile in my wardrobe, and this definitely is. Let's talk about pros and cons. I've already mentioned a bunch of pros. The versatility, limitless, super cute as a top, great as a maxi sweater dress. You could do this in a jersey knit. That would also be super cute and super comfortable to wear and make it like a little bit more casual. You could do it in a chunkier knit for a more like elevated look. You could do this in prints. I think it would look really well. Short, long split, asymmetrical hem. Like, this is a great pattern for beginners to really play around with. It's very few pieces, and it's easy to imagine it as something else, if you will. Cons. The only con I would have is, as a tall girly, if you want it to look like the picture, you would have to add length. That's probably my only con, is that when it comes to Viki Sews dresses, her maxi dresses are never quite maxi enough for me, so I always have to go in and add about 4 to 5 additional inches. So that would be a con. But if you're not worried about length because you're not very tall, you don't have to worry about that, then that's a moot point. That's a moot point. So I think that's the only con. I can't really think of anything bad about this pattern, because it was super easy and it doesn't require a lot of notions, which I love and which I think is truly a beginner pattern. If you can do it in a few pieces, pretty easy to put together, not a lot of notions, it's a winner. So it's a winner. And I think this is like timeless, right? And like I said, you could play around with the collar, do one shoulder, bring it to the middle, make it more of a cowl or a wider neck. If you don't want to have your shoulders out, put something under it like I did. I have nothing bad to say about this one. And my final thoughts. It is a favorite. It's definitely getting recreated again this year. I think I'm going to make it as a top though, so I can wear it even more. Because I personally, when it's cold outside, I love a cozy sweater, and I love something that's easy to put on. If it's too fussy, it doesn't get worn. It doesn't get worn if it's too fussy. So I like this pattern. I'm definitely going to make it again. It was quick, it's cute, and these types of sweaters go for a lot of money. I have a sweater like this from Free People, and I think I paid like $120 for it. So, and it's thin. So you better get you one of these. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 3 in this series. I hope you guys are really enjoying it and finding it informative. Thank you again. And also, if you are planning to shop Viki Sews, make sure you check down in the comment box or the description box to find my ambassador code. It changes every month, and so I'll try to keep those updated on these videos as well, so you can save 20% on your purchases. Bye. Cheers.